Hi everyone, I'm Sandra and this is the Cherry Heart podcast and we're on episode number 35. Welcome to my podcast. It's a crochet, knitting, sewing and other crafty bits and bobs podcast, and I'm coming to you from Bedfordshire in the UK on a lovely sunny autumnal day. Just looking out the window to check. How are you? It's been ages, hasn't it? I know. School holidays, fabulous things, but summer ones do go on a bit. The dog is barking. There's quite a bit of activity outside. I hope you won't be able to hear it. There's sort of sawing and, I don't know, banging and whatnot going on. So hopefully you won't hear that, but the dog may bark at people he feels are behaving incorrectly, which is virtually everyone all the time. But yes, let's push on, shall we, and see what we can do. I've got lots of things to tell you about. So first of all, before I talk about anything else, I've got some so exciting news, and I've been holding on to this pretty much all year until I want to explode. So I'm so glad that I can sort of finally spill the beans and talk about it. Yeah, so the big thing for me this autumn is there is going to be a Spice of Life 2 crochet along. Hey! So, yeah, I don't even know what to say now. Yeah, so I don't know if you will have known, but a couple of years ago in 2015, I did a crochet along together with Black Sheep Wool, and it was called Spice of Life Blanket. And quite a few of you very, very kindly sort of came on board and joined in with the crochet along and made the blanket, and have been making them since actually. So thank you, love you guys, you're the best. Yes, that was really exciting. And then sort of since then, me and Black Sheep Wools have been sort of talking about the idea of maybe doing another one. So we got ourselves together sort of earlier this year and thought, yeah, let's do it. So we have arranged another crochet along. So it's going to start, all the details will come out, the introduction piece and sort of all the information to tell you what you need to know will be out next week. So on the 19th of September, so Tuesday the 19th of September, yeah, that's when you'll get your sort of list of yarns, and I've got a whole sort of thing prepped to sort of tell you lots of things that you, everything you'll need to know to get ready, and then the pattern parts will follow. So there'll be 6 parts, and they'll be released over the sort of coming weeks, from the end of September to the beginning of November. So yeah, all the dates and all the details that you need will be coming next week, from the 19th of September, but I'm so excited that I wanted to tell you, and I'll pop a little sort of picture in, and sort of there'll be better pictures coming on the 19th, but just a little sort of whet your appetite kind of picture, yeah, to sort of show you. It's very, if you did the first one, it's going to be called A Spicier Life, I should say that. Yeah, so it's very sort of much a continuation on from the first one. So we had a Spice of Life, now we've got a spicier life. So yeah, if you enjoyed the first one, hopefully you'll enjoy this one too, and it will sort of take your you know, stretch your crochet just that little bit further. The sort of few more new things to learn, you know, new patterns and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully it will go down well. Hopefully you'll enjoy it as well, and yeah, I shall look forward to talking more about it. There is a Spicier Life group already. Black Sheep Wools have set that up already on Facebook, so if you were a member of the Spice of Life Facebook group, you'll probably know this already actually, but there is a Spicier Life Facebook group, so I'll pop the link in the show notes if you want to pop along there, and just so you're there ready, and you know, if you want to start chatting to people about nothing, because nothing's been released yet. But yeah, it is imminent, so yeah, I'm very excited about that. I hope you are too, and I'll talk to you more about that soon. Okay, so let's move on with what else I've got to talk about. I do feel like I've got quite a few things to tell you about though, so I don't want it to get too long, so I might have to save some till next time. So some I can talk about as I show you the relevant things, but there's one I want to mention first which I'm quite excited about. It's the back to school sweater along. So it's a crochet along, but it's all around the idea of sort of promoting and making crochet garments, which I just think is fantastic. It's being run by Helen Eccles and Tamara of Crafty Escapism. I'll put their details down there. I'll put the links in the show notes as well so you can find it. There's I think they've got a Ravelry group and the threads and different bloggers or podcasters even are talking about different aspects of making a cardigan or jumper out of crochet or crocheting one, and there's also the you can make one and join in that way as well. So yeah, I was really excited about that. They contacted me about it and unfortunately I couldn't do it, but yeah, I'm really excited to sort of read about it, find out more about it and sort of see what they have to say about it. And I've kind of been making a little crochet sweater. It doesn't quite fit into the date, so I won't be able to enter it in the crochet along, but yeah, I'm just sort of quite enthusiastic about that idea lately, and yeah, so it's good to see someone doing an along for it. And sort of I don't know, knitted garments are very commonplace, aren't they? It's very normal, but crocheted garments are less sort of mainstream, I would say. But I can kind of see why in some ways. It took me a while to come around to the idea of them, but at the same time they can be absolutely fabulous if they're done in the right way. So yeah, I'm very excited about that one. So yeah, do take a minute to pop along and check that out if you've ever thought of the idea, or if you're just intrigued and want to have a look at what you can do with crochet and wearing crochet. So that's that one. And then the others, as I say, I'll mention as I go along. I've got lots of giveaway stuff as well, that but I think that'll have to wait for next time. So it's probably pointless mentioning it. Why am I even talking about things I'm not even going to talk about this time? Ridiculous. I'll show you a couple of things that I've done then during these summer holidays. So first up, as per usual, is some socks. My little sock starter. So these are ones I've done. So let me just show you them because they are finished. You might have seen I started these before the holidays, and I posted them on Instagram. So these are a West Yorkshire Spinners yarn, and it's a very special colourway. Let's get it up there nice and close so you can see. It's the limited edition colourway for Marie Curie, which is a cancer charity here in the UK, if you are not aware of it. Yeah, so this yarn, I was contacted by City Knits actually, so this yarn is available through them, and for every ball of yarn that you buy there is a donation made to the Marie Curie fund, so that is brilliant. So you've got this special one-off, what do you call it, not variegated, but sort of self-striping mock Fair Riley style, and then you can get the colours to match. So there's a blue, a yellow and a cream. So I just did the contrasting cuffs in blue because I thought that stood out quite nicely. But I've got plenty left, so I might do another pair for the small person and do like the yellow contrasting cuffs and heels and toes. I thought that might work quite nicely. But yeah, so these are fairly standard 2x2 ribbons, ribbon cast on 72, and then I reduced down to 64 for the main part. I did a fish lips kiss heel, and I just did a rounded toe, so completely rounded, not like a rounded wedge, but a completely rounded toe because it decreases all around. which is my current fave. And I also quite like because it comes into just a, you know, you just cinch the last stitches together, so it saves having to do a bit of kitchener, which is always nice when you're feeling lazy. So that is those. So yeah, the yarn, as I say, is available from City Knits, and I'll put the link in the show notes, but it is it's quite easy to remember. It's cityknits.co.uk, so you can pop along there. I think it's still available. I hope it is. Yeah, so that's a good cause. What else do I have to show you? I've got some crochet to show you now. This is another thing that I've finished. Yeah, so yeah, another thing that happened in the summer holidays was Fibre Easter course. Oh my goodness, I even forgot, I hadn't even told you about that. So that was really lovely. Brought a few things. I'll have to show you them by and by, I think. But yeah, I met up, well, I went with my lovely yarny friend Sam from Betsy Makes, of course. We went together as we normally do. And but this year was really special because we met up with some other podcasters and bloggers. So we met Chrissy from Chrissy Crafts and Emma from Potter and Bloom and Victoria from A Cup of Tea. So that was really lovely. Yeah, it was really nice just meeting them in person and chattering away. Anyway, the point being why I've mentioned that now is because the lovely Emma from Potter and Bloom, as you may probably already know, has got a new pattern out, which I can't pronounce. A Lula scarf, I think it is. Stole, actually, not a scarf, it's a stole. So it's Luila, so Lula, I think. Yes, but she very kindly offered us one of those cake yarn cakes. See, the speaking comes so hard after all these weeks. Yeah, the yarn cakes that are just, they seem to be like the big in thing at the minute, the sort of gradient ones where you sort of fade from one colour, you know, to either darker or lighter, or sometimes across several colours. So really gorgeous big cakes of yarn. So she gifted me and Sam one of those each, but she said, would you mind making, you know, having a go at my new pattern with it? So I was like, yeah. And actually it was just before I went on holiday as well, so it was perfect because I needed something that I could take on the plane, something that was sort of, you know, I didn't want to be taking a million balls of yarn, so this was perfect. I thought, great, I shall do this on the plane. So this is what I made. Actually, that's the wrong way because this is the start, so I'm actually showing you it upside down. But it's ever so lovely and long. Here it is, changing colour. There, so that's the right way up really. This is where I finished. I started with the darker colour and I finished here. See the leaves look like they're pointing, growing up like that now. Which is how they should be, I think. Yeah, so isn't that lovely? Really fab. So the cake, when she gave it to us, it's a 3-ply yarn. So I guess it must be a little thinner than fingering, but it didn't feel particularly thin, I wouldn't say. What was I going to say about that? Yeah, it was a 3-ply yarn and big cake of it. So it was 1,000 meters, I think, or was it 1,000 yards? Either way, I looked at it and I was slightly daunted, but I have to say I was like, whoa. But on the plus side, you know, I knew it would keep me busy for plenty of the holidays, so that was good. But actually, it kind of whizzed by quite quickly when I made it up. So it was, yeah, I don't think it was too much. It does make a lovely, beautiful, long scarf, but as it's sort of quite light, it's quite nice because then you can either wrap it round a few times or, you know, sort of fold it up and put it round. I've done as well. Just for trying out. I might actually gift this because of the colours, although they are utterly gorgeous. I don't wear sort of brown an awful lot, so I'm not sure what I've got that it will go with particularly. It's coming up beautifully on this camera though, I have to say. Yeah, but it's just the colour, when I saw it, it immediately made me think of my nan. So I might gift it to her, maybe. I don't know. It might be a bit sort of, might be, I'm not sure it's quite her thing. That's what I was going to say. Might be a bit long for her to cope with. But yeah, or maybe someone else. But I think, yeah, that's the first person I thought. So it might be quite nice to gift it to her. But yeah, if you wanted to make your own, or if you like the idea of those lovely yarn cakes, Emma from Potter and Bloom is doing a cake cal. So she's doing a crochet along. So for her pattern, gorgeous, gorgeous pattern, which is the perfect thing to make with one of them. But also, I think you can sort of make anything as long as you're using one of those lovely gradient cakes. This one was by Cotton Flowers, which is a shop on Etsy. And this was their, I think they just call it 3-ply gradient yarns. So, but they've got loads of colours. If you pop on there, there's some really lovely, lovely gradients on there. Very pretty, and there's loads and loads to choose from. So yeah, pop along and have a look, and go over to Emma's blog, which I will link, and yeah, find out the details of that and see if you fancy joining in. It's a really nice pattern to make. I think like the first sort of repeat or two, it took a sort of little while to kind of get it sunk into my head. I thought, oh well, I'm going to keep needing to refer to the pattern to this. It's not sinking in, my brain is not grasping it so that I can just do it automatically, but actually after 3 or 4 repeats I had it, it was fine. Once you sort of, you know, get it memorised, it's really lovely little pattern. And you know, it's always nice because you sort of finish one leaf and then you're halfway through the next leaf, so you think, well, I'll just finish that leaf, and then you're halfway through the next leaf, and yeah, you can see how it goes. So that's that one. And then my last project to show you is something I've just started. So I'm working on this one. And that is in this little kitty bag that I made quite a while ago. And this is another along. We're feeling the alongs this week. It's all about the alongs. And this is a Strictly Socks along. So this one is being hosted by Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, who is Starry Eyes Ali on Instagram. Links in the show notes. And yeah, so she's doing a Strictly 2017 sock along. So the idea, I don't know why I'm showing you this one, I'm not even talking about the yarn yet, because you want to see it, that's why. But the idea being is that you start the socks during the launch show and you finish them during the Strictly final. And then you can knit on the socks at any time that you are watching Strictly. So any of the weekly shows, any of the It Takes Two shows. And I think like if you find some old Strictly on YouTube, you can knit it during that as well. But I'll put the links so you can check out the rules for yourself. But now the launch show in the UK was on Saturday just gone, but Ali said in her podcast that creative rule bending is positively encouraged. So I think it would be perfectly acceptable, you might want to check this with her, but the launch show is going to be available on iPlayer for at least another, what, 3 or 4 weeks. So if you didn't see it, or if you didn't cast on during the launch show, pop along to iPlayer, get yourself casted on during the launch show that you can get on demand on the iPlayer, and there you go, you're in the game. So that's why I thought it's definitely still worth mentioning. So here's the little start that I got during the launch show. Not a lot done, as you see, too much stopping and gabbing. So that's my little tiny cuff I've started. Gone for a little twisted 1x1 rib today, this time. And I've got my little, we were talking on Instagram about we need a glitter ball stitch marker. I didn't have such a thing, but I did find these kind of glittery beads, so I just made that up in the interim as a little glitter ball substitute. At least it's glittery and sparkly, which is what you need for Strictly, obviously. So now I shall talk about the yarn and show it to you. So here it is. And I don't know if you can see, let's see if we can make it glint in the light, but it has actually got sparkle in it. It's got some silver stellina in it. Is it gonna glitter? No, not even remotely. But it is in there. Trust me. Oh, 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 I saw a little bit then. Yeah, so this yarn is a homespun house yarn. It's called B-Sides and Rarities. And yeah, I've recognised that I have a bit of a problem when it comes to homespun house yarn. I love it. I want to buy it. I want to hoard it and have every single colourway that she's ever made in her life ever. I don't want to use it. I find it really hard to use it. I pull it out and think, oh, this would be gorgeous. Oh, I can't. And then I wouldn't have it anymore, and oh my god. Yeah, it's a problem. But I sort of thought, I'm going to have to do it. It doesn't make any sense, you see, because if I've got it and it's in my stash, that's lovely and comforting and nice. But if I get it out and actually use it, I get to look at it lots more, and then I get to use the thing that I've made. So it just doesn't make any sense to hoard it. It makes sense to use it. But yeah, I do find it quite hard, I have to say. Yeah. So perfect. Perfectly happy, glittery, sparkly sock project. So yeah, if you fancy making yourself some Strictly socks and you haven't already started, that's my tip for a get out for you. Pop along to iPlayer. And I think if you're in other countries, you can sort of play along using your own, the Strictly that's in your country, I think, as well. I don't know. I think that's cool though. Okay, so next up would normally be Pips, patterns in progress, but I think we'll just skate over that because although I have got things in progress, nothing's happened during the summer holidays, so yeah, there's not much to say really. We'll come back to that when I've got my head back in gear and I know where I am. And then there is, last but not least, some lovely incoming goodies. Now, as I said, I've got lots of things from Fibre East to show you, but we'll get round to that another time because I just want to share these little things that I got in, which were a very kind gift. So I was speaking to the lovely Sonia on Ravelry. I think she was having a problem buying a pattern for some reason. Anyway, we were sort of I was sorting it out for her and sort of finding a little workaround, and yeah, we got that all sorted out. And then she's very kindly said, "Oh, you know, I'll send you a little something." I was like, "Well, you don't have to, but that's very sweet of you. Here you go." Sort of thinking, "Oh, she'd perhaps send me a little mini or something, you know." And then when the parcel arrived, look what was inside. How gorgeous are they? What perfect colours. This is like the cherry heart colours. Mustard and a sort of really nice bright pink and a paler pink. It's like my logo, my like favourite go-to colours of all time. So yeah, perfect. Perfectly perfect. Probably can't hear me when I'm doing that. So these are, let me just show you because they've got stitch markers on, so I've kept everything intact to show you. So it's Malabrigo, which I always have trouble saying for some reason. And this one is Light of Love 857. Perfect pink. I've been looking for a sort of mid pink that's sort of kind of bright but not too garish for the longest time, and this one is just perfect. Oh, I love it. It's so soft. What's the yarn? Silence, not telling. Well, it's merino. It just says superwash merino, so I guess it's 100% superwash merino then. Sorry. And the other one is ochre. 803 ochre. Don't know why I'm showing you that. I said it. There you go. But she also, look what's also here. Not just a stitch marker, but look, 3 I've got on here. So we've got, try to arrange them now to get them to behave so you will see them. Right, there we go. So we've got a little flower a dragonfly and a heart on that one. Is that focusing? I can't see. And then on this one, so cute. Oh. Bear with, bear with. Here we go. So there's the owl, a spoon and a cupcake. No. Oh, I moved it. And actually the owl has got a little bead on his ring. A little pink bead to match. Oh, perfectly perfect. Oh, so generous. Thank you ever so much, Sonia. I'm so pleased with those. It's got to be up here, hasn't it? It's got to be a shawl. It's delicious. Might make getting ziggy with that, which is one of my patterns. Or I might make something completely different. Oh, I love it though. I love it. I'd popped it up here in the craft room over the holidays and I'd sort of forgotten about it, and then I came up to sort of clear up the devastation, because the only thing that had happened up here is I would find some sort of bit of crafty whatnot in the house and then think, oh, I'll dump that in the craft room, sort it out later. So when I came back, the desk had a big sort of heap of yarn garbage on it that needed sorted out. But anyway, that was, you know, in a pile over on the side there. I was like, oh, I forgot about these. So yeah, that's exciting. Anyway, that's probably it from me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching, and desperately trying to remember what I should be saying, and I can't. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, well, I will see you soon. Have a lovely knitty, crochet, crafty time. Until then, see you then. Bye!